Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Psyche Libertina, and today we are gonna look at life's greatest lesson to you by far. So this is a continuation of the series that I was trying to create for you guys, yung your journey as a fool of the tarot. I apologize. I know I've been out for a couple of weeks or probably like a month or so. Um yeah, I just needed to deal with some things yon. So I apologize for that. A lot of you have been messaging me. Thank you so much for concern. I haven't been able to respond to everyone, but thank you so much for your prayers, for your concern, for asking me how I am. Yon. Pero yan, I hope we can get in touch again. And nga pala, one of the things that friends mentioned to me, kasi I'm very, into manifesting and stuff. So if there's any one of you who's interested with candles, so you can please feel free to follow Wicks and Crystals. So yeah, we do this scented candles na, of course, imbibed with, stones and stuff for your daily manifestation thingamajigs. Ayan. So right here, I have here, going back to the reading, three versions of the Hierophant card. So as you know, the Hierophant talks about, lessons, the things that life wants to teach us. And today, that's what we're going to look at. So for our first pile, I have here the Hierophant from the Maker's Tarot. So this is the design of that card and the back there. So this is the Hierophant from the Maker's Tarot. And for pile number 2, I have here the Hierophant from the Muse Tarot. So this is the design. Ayan. And then this is the back. So ayan. And then for pile number 3, I have here the White Fly Tarot. And this is the design. And the back. There. So those are 3 piles. Please feel free to pause the video if you like, if you want to, get the feel of the cards. Could be the design, the color, whichever it is that you feel drawn to. Now, once you've chosen, head over down the timestamps to see the clickable link for your pile, and I will see you on your reading. Bye. Hey there, pal number 1. Thank you so much for being here. So, if you chose etong the Maker's Tarot natin, again, this is your design. Ayan. It's your deck. So, we are gonna look at what life's greatest lesson is for you. By far, kumbaga, what are the things that life has been trying to teach you? Kung ano yung mga things na parang it's already thrown at you, but you're not really sure how to decipher them or what you're supposed to think about them. Is life really just teaching you something or whatnot? So per usual, I have here your pre-shuffled oracle cards just to check on yung energy, on yung overall vibe of your reading. Like I always mention, if you're not able to resonate with this one, then please feel free to choose other piles. Now, if you're able to resonate with this one, then definitely ito yung reading mo. Otherwise, it could be on another pile. If not, if you're not able to resonate with any of it, then most likely there isn't any reading for you on this pile. Just a general disclaimer, this is a general tarot reading, so only take what resonates and leave the rest. And nga pala, guys, I know I did mention kanina, but if any of you is interested with candles such as these, yung mga nagmamanifest, with your sense of sight, with your sense of smell, so feel free to follow Instagram and Shopee Wicks and Crystals, as in Wicks and letter N Crystals. So we're the ones who make these. These are high quality scented candles with stones for your daily manifestations. I just like it with stones particularly para, when the candles have gone, you have something solid to hold on to for those things that you wanted to manifest. Okay, so moving on with your reading, I have here woman, dealings or relationships with a woman. Spring, green and green, so something about the heart. See those, both of those. Let's move this a little. There. Yeah. And another green, gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Okay. So, actually, pile number one. Dito pa lang agad. For some, okay. So, with these three cards alone, pa lang, with these three cards, it seems to me na parang you are trying to either relive or try to make something out of this relationship that you have with a very feminine energy. Again, it doesn't really have to be female. To me, I only look at these things as energy. So there could be someone na parang you could have had, a falling out with. This has something that's very blue. So it could have been a parang miscommunication with someone. Could have been a, you went into this stage of parang your relationship with people where you either take it as parang whether you're the one who's confused about what they say or they confuse what you're saying. So there is a lot of miscommunication that's going on with your life. I think that what the main theme of your energy, at least at this point, would be regarding how others perceive you, how you want others to see you, how you want to grow in this field or in this industry or in this life that you are in. There is someone who can help you, but for some reason, I think that this one is very young and then this one doesn't look so young. So there could have been like parang a disconnect. This could be like a mentor, a parent, it could be your mother, na parang you need to like fix your relationship. You do have here like, ayan, looks to me like a nest. So meaning, underneath the argument, there is love, there is hope, there is something that you are being taught to appreciate, especially with gratitude here. I think na parang, ito yung classic na tipong, I think you're being taught na parang, when someone corrects you, it's not really na parang they want to attack you or something. It's more of like they are concerned of how you are. And I think life is teaching you na parang don't take things or don't take most things as negatives. Sometimes kasi, as people, we have the tendency to misconstrue whenever we're being corrected. Sometimes we think na parang we're being attacked or we're not loved or we're less appreciated. So I think in general theme, if this is not something that you can resonate with, if you did not have a recent falling out with anybody, this could be recent, but for most of you, I think it's recent. But for some, if it's not recent, then this talks about a particular relationship in your life na nag-fall apart kasi it's either, oh no, it's not either. It's definitely about miscommunication. It's about someone, either of your, misconstruing the messages the other party wants to wants to share. So forgive me if I'm coughing. So ayun, so that's the general thing. Now, we're gonna look at your tarot and see kung ano ba talaga yung nangyari dito sa situation ninyo. Kasi this is something na parang you're very attached to this person and then all of a sudden, things went sour. Parang you were in a good pace with them and then all of a sudden, parang bigla na lang na, not really, yeah, actually, it's sort of like falling apart, but I don't really know. Let's see muna kung ano bang pinagtatampuhan at bakit nagkaganito. So this is a very specific tarot reading. I don't think that it's a love reading. I think this is something that you have a close relationship with. It's just really about your relationship with other people. File number one. I don't know kung saan pa yung setting nito, whether this is at work or at family, but it talks about being linked to someone, being guided by that someone, or being in a close relationship with that someone, hoping that both of you will grow. But for some reason, there is miscommunication. There is something that didn't sit right with either or one of you, na parang nawala na tuloy yung with gratitude being here, nawala na tuloy yung parang positive na feeling that you get when someone guides you. So, that's a very specific energy. Pile number 1. So, let's now look at your tarot kung ano ba yung mga specifics dito. So, Spirit, for pile number 1, what is this thing that life is trying to teach them? So you have 3 agad. So you have here the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, the 3 of Pentacles upright, and the Lover's card in reverse. So like I just said kanina, this really is just about a relationship that you have with someone. It could be someone at work, especially with the 4 and the 3 of Pentacles being here. When you combine these two, it would be the 7 of Pentacles. Now, the 4 of Pentacles talks about, parang holding on to something that's very, very material, while the 3 of Pentacles talks about collaboration. So, it could be na parang for most of you, it could be na the 4 of Pentacles kasi talks about holding on to something so much. So, it could be na parang you guys cannot separate, and this is very particular for those of you that does have this issue with work. I think na parang you cannot separate the other aspects of your life with this person. It could be na parang your workmates and then your friends, pero hindi nyo kayang paghiwalayin yung friendship ninyo with, other aspects of your life. Kaya nagkakaroon ng confusion. Especially with the Lover's card here being in reverse. It's as if na parang with the snake there, then these are shoes. And nice shoes take you to nice places. Pero for some reason, with this one being in reverse, it's as if na parang it's your perfect, I'm sorry for having to say this, it seemed as if you guys are the perfect pair of each other, but there has been some sort of betrayal that went into it. Either betrayal or parang hatred that is not supposed to be there. So with the hammer here and then shoes, it's very disconnected. Na parang why would you need heels if you're gonna work on something na parang construction-ish? So let's ask further. So, Spirit, what is life teaching? Pile number 1. Okay. So we have here 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely about work. And the 7 of Wands. So the Lord of Valor card being in reverse. Back of the deck, you have here the 7 of Pentacles. See, I told you would have 7 of Pentacles earlier with these two. So for most of you, this could be about work. Now, let us look at this lesson that life is teaching you. Pile number 1. Okay. So I think first and foremost, your relationship ninyo with this person, with the Lover's card being here, is something that's genuine. Okay, it's not something na parang na-invento lang out of nowhere. I understand now why there is a lot of, parang pain, why the things are being reversed. Kasi there is a lot of love. Na parang probably one or the both of you thought or found your perfect pair with this person. Someone who can bring you to nice places, someone who can guide you. It does need a lot of work, yes. And there is a sort of parang not so positive thought behind it. Pero it's sort of kasi parang there is a lot of parang hidden pain in that one or the both of you has. Parang ganito maraming unresolved issues yung isa sa inyo na tuloy nadadala dun sa relationship ninyo. If this isn't about work, then that could be fine. But for majority of you, this is really about, about your career, about work, about business. Now, what was your situation before? I think kasi na parang pile number 1, you are either this person, one or the both of you, have the certain tendency to parang link your satisfaction, your success, whatever it is that you are able to accomplish in life with whatever it is that you have done, with your work or with your career. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, pile number one. Walang mali na parang you find satisfaction and gratification for all of the effort that you've done through the work that you do. That's perfectly fine. However, with the Three of Pentacles here, normally these two, you know, um, they um, they have very opposing energies. Kasi syempre, if you want to climb up the ladder, let's say, with your career or with your business, if you want certain things in your life, like your business, your work, ganyan, to thrive, sometimes, and more often than not, you have to put aside your emotions and sometimes your friendship with other people. Why? Hear me out first. Diba sabi nga nila, it's better na you don't make a business venture, you don't go into a business venture with your friends. I think it was Jack Ma who said that, na parang never go into business with your friends. Go into business with people and then become friends afterwards. So, ganun siya dito. Na parang you have been into this sort of like scenario where um alam mo yun, parang you want to do great pero hindi mo kayang i-separate yung friendship with business. And sometimes that is where the confusion comes in. Kasi remember, more often than not, people, it only a few number of people would appreciate when you try to correct them. Especially sa mga panahon ngayon. I remember this was something that a training for work told us, na parang um Gen Z Gen Z people are the ones that are, I don't know kung kailan sila pinanganak, pero Gen Z people, especially with yung pandemic hitting, parang you're just confined at home. It's very difficult for us or for everyone to accept when someone tries to correct you, when someone gives you feedback, kasi we've been so used into isolation that our social skills are not, kumbaga, they failed, not really failed, pero they did not mature as much when you have a lot of social interaction. So that's the first thing. Now I think that parang right now you're being taught to focus on yourself. To focus on yourself. And with the Nine of Pentacles being here, remember, more than anything, if you want to change and if you want to be better for other people, you have to be better for yourself first. That's the first thing. Especially with the Seven of Wands here in reverse. You could have a lot of, parang a lot of hang-ups, a lot of issues that you're not able to deal with. But the Seven of Wands kasi talks about, diba? The Lord of Valor card talks about like really just standing up for those times na parang you feel like you're about to get crushed or fall down. Pero with this one being in reverse, you're being reminded na parang it's okay to sometimes keep your guard down. You don't necessarily have to always be on fight mode. Sometimes you have to listen, you have to absorb, you have to accept in order to be a better person, not just for other people, but primarily for yourself. And I think that not really one, but that's one of the greatest life lessons that, the universe or God is trying to get into you. Especially with the Seven of Pentacles here. Everything is a continuous progress. It's a continuous improvement plan. It's a continuous improvement project or something, even yourself. You cannot expect yourself to be the best at everything without working for it. And sometimes you wouldn't even know. Sometimes you would need patterns, especially with this card appearing like this. Na parang it has a lot of patterns. Oh, sorry, that failed to focus there. But it has a lot of patterns. Hindi siya yung tipong parang you can do it ng pikit mata ika nga, na nandun ka pa dun sa stage na parang you're still trying to figure things out, na you would still need guidance. And with this, you need to accept na you do still need guidance in this aspect of your life. Na no matter how much or how well you tell yourself na um, no, it's okay, parang, ano, ano ba yan, parang, I, what? Ano nga ba? Parang, alam mo na yung gagawin mo or something na I'm like this, I'm like that. No. No, parang your cards are really just telling you na parang if you want to spring into action, if you want things to be better, if you want to grow with this person, or whoever this is your guiding, you are guiding, or whoever is guiding you, parang you have to be thankful for the time that you are being given with them, kasi their purpose in your life is to really to help you get out of that little bubble of yours, to get out of this parang parang thorns or whatever is holding you, for you to grow into something new. Now let's clarify all of this. So can you clarify this Four of Pentacles, please? Have here. Alright. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. Two of Wands. And the Nine of Cups. Yeah. So see, yung advice in your how you're going to approach this moving forward is really very focused on yourself. Deciding to make a change. Would it be a yes? Will it be a no? Do you want to change? Do you want to get better? It's really just up to you. Pile number one. Back of the deck, you have here the Knight of Swords. So, all three knights are here, except the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is the stable. It's very slow, but it's one of the most stable knights. I think it's the most stable and grounded knight, being the Pentacle. So I think na para right now, more than just being grounded and staying firm on whatever it is that you choose to believe in, you have to be, you have to be a little more flexible. You need to understand what it is that you really want. You need to understand, and with this one being in reverse, na parang you need to understand na messages, they're not always good messages. Sometimes you really need to hear bad messages, not because you're being torn down or smacked on the face or parang pinupush ka into the ground. No, it's not like that. You're being delivered these certain messages kasi it's something that will help you grow. Especially with the rose here, painting ng rose. And then parang parang you need to learn on how to do things first before you actually get to do it. Ayan, both rose. Kasi ito parang bud lang, and then this one is already blooming. Diba? So, I think that this person, or whoever it is, na itong very specific tong reading niyo, I think na parang the both of you have something to learn from each other, but you need to give it a chance. The things are going on very, very quickly now. It's up to you to decide if you want to continue with this, if you're willing to change, if you're willing to, let your guard down and really just accept na, self-care is self-love. Na when people tell you things, it's not really, you have a basket which you cannot fill by yourself. With this one, some of them are still, parang you're still making them, and more often than not, you do need help. You do need the expertise of teachers. You do need some training para matutuhan mo yung mga ganyang bagay. And that's how this is going right now. Okay, so let's look at some advice cards for you. File number one, kung how are you supposed to go about this situation? It's very, very particular. It's very funny kasi parang, di ba, magtatapos yung taon and then you're being advised na parang, mend your relationships with mentors or those people who are looking out for you. So, I think, in hindsight, parang sinasabi na lang sa'yo dito nung cards mo, or spirit is just really telling you na parang you can't do it alone. Parang you need to be able to accept na in order for you to grow, you have to learn from other people. And I think it was Oprah who said that, na parang, was it Oprah or during an interview sa kanya na parang, or was it Confucius, na parang, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm going around the place, pero, parang it's very very smart to learn from the experience of others, and that's something that can help you grow, not just at work or but in life, in general. So let's get some advice for you, pile spirit. Any advice regarding this situation of pile number one? Life's greatest lesson for them. You have here blocked. I will push through. So parang you may feel na parang the relationship has stopped, the guidance has stopped. You may feel na parang you really don't have parang any other option to go through it, na parang it's already a dead end. No, it's not. If anything, this is just, with all of these, parang, ano ba yan, parang they look like wands na standing, and you do have the Eight of Wands here as your center card. So, alam mo yun, parang and you have roses there too. You have a lot of roses, and roses talk about love, di ba? Whenever, kahit nga mga pag naliligaw or something, di ba? Very common yung first thing, roses yung ibibigay. So I think na parang this is something that will start something better for you. You just have to go through it and accept na that's really just how it is, Ito, envious. My qualities are beyond compare. Alright. So, with this one, you can see na parang puro siya succulents. Now, yung succulents kasi, diba, sabi nga nila, they just need the right amount of love. So, I think that it would be good na parang if this one needs, a lot of tending, a lot of loving, you need to trim, you need to do something, and then this one naman doesn't really need that much care, so then you just need to balance. You just need to balance. You need to accept na parang, whatever qualities it is you have, those are good. No one really has bad attitude, or no one is really a bad person. It's just really how you decide. Becoming bad is just really how you decide to use your talents, use whatever use whatever teachings you have, or whatever it is that you're trying to learn. So I think that it would be good na you appreciate yourself, but never ever stop growing. You have your honest. I live my life with integrity. So it could be na parang, again, roses na you've been hiding, or you've been trying to evade things. Kasi, there looks like some sort of falling apart in here. I think na parang now is the time that you accept things for how they are. You accept things na hindi mo kayang mag-isa. You accept things na parang there is a decision that needs to be made. Whether you move on from this hurdle or not, that would be totally up to you. Back of the deck, you have here, grateful. I appreciate the abundance around me. So see, you have here grateful, you have here gratitude. So really, the cards are reminding you na, and it's the greatest lesson that life is giving you, na, you have to really see things as something that's good. Na sometimes they may not come in the way that you want it to come, pero it's a blessing either way. It really is still a blessing for you. Na whoever this person is, or whatever it is that you have had with this person, or whatever it is that they are teaching you about life, then life is really telling you right now na parang life's greatest lesson is for you to accept that you don't know everything, that you need to learn, that there are really things na hindi mo alam eh. No matter how much you tell yourself na parang, oh, I know everything. No, that's not really the case. Intellectual conversation. So again, really just being honest with how you feel, just really, trying to appreciate the things that you are being thought of or thought about. You have here, set goals and work hard. So again, about work, push through, yung mga bagay talagang hindi mo makukuha ng isang goal lang. And then you have here, no. So there could be a question in your mind na hindi ka, there could be a question in your mind that you're trying to ask is it worth it or whatever. Right now, it could be na parang you're at that stage na no, which is why you're being given advice na do you want to look at it, or it could be na parang you're really asking for something and this is your answer. So only you guys can interpret that since this is a very general reading. Back of it, this is a lesson from the past. So, okay, so very specific and this is a lesson from the past. It could be na you have had this experience before. It could be na you were in this situation previously. And similarly, you're being taught na, try to learn from your mistakes. Try to learn from how you did it or how others did it before, because that's really just the best way to learn. So that's it. Pile number one, thank you so much for being here, for staying with me. If you did like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want me to do more of these readings or whatever reading you want me to do the next time. Do follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Psyche Libertina, and also Wicks and Crystals. And yeah, I will see you on your next reading, pile number one. Thank you. Bye. Hey there, pal number two. Thank you so much for being here. So if you chose etong the Muse Tarot natin, this again is your deck. Ayan. Your deck. Ayan. So, if you chose this file, then we are gonna look at life's greatest lesson for you as of the moment. And I just want to, kumbaga, share with you guys that, for those of you who are interested, or for those of you who do manifestation, please feel free to follow Wicks and Crystals. We are the ones who make these beautiful manifestation candles. So again, it's a scented candle with stones that have been cleansed. And if you're manifesting, then at least you can light up a candle, put your thoughts into the world. You can even have it beside you para your thoughts, your energy, you can imbue or you can imbibe it dun sa mga stones na to. And once the candles have already melted down, of course, keep the stones. That's just a reminder of what you're trying to put out in the world and them being turned into something physical. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for those who have suggested this to me. And yeah, I hope you can support that little thing that we're trying to do. So, again, back to your reading, per usual. I have your pre-shuffled oracle cards just to check the energy of your reading. If you're not able to resonate with this one, then please feel free to check other piles. Absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one pile. Similarly, kung wala kayong, if you can't resonate with any of the piles, then most likely there isn't any message for you on this reading. So, general disclaimer, this is a general tarot reading, so only take what resonates and leave the rest. So, for your first card, you have your Valley. Deep personal strength and peace that assure success. So this is Valley. Then you have here spontaneous and intuitive creation. For some reason, I suddenly remember Magic Knight Ray Earth. If any of your 90s kids. And then happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Okay, so what do we have for you? Pile number 2. I think that right now you're in this state na parang you're not really sure if what you're doing is right. You're not really sure if what you're doing or all of those things that you have gone through, if all of these things that you are trying to do are helping you get to where you want to be. Sometimes kasi that really just happens na minsan we do a lot of things. Syempre, of course, we want it to be successful, but we're not really sure. Parang the instances that we are being given, hindi siya kumbaga clear na parang okay, you're on the right path. Sometimes sometimes it happens na parang there are a lot of discouraging things na parang hindi mo sure kung hindi mo sure kung dapat mo pa bang ituloy itong ginagawa mo. Now, you're being told here na parang these sudden bursts of thoughts, of your creativity, of your intuition, they're really there to guide you to where you want to be. It may not be in the way that you expect to hear news, or you may not get there in the most practical or ano ba yung tawag mo dun, most, parang in the usual of ways, pero you're being guided by your intuition on how you are to proceed with whatever trouble it is that you're being bothered about right now. Now, with the Valley being here, deep personal strength and peace that assure success. I think na one of the greatest things that you're being reminded right now is nothing really ever happens by coincidence. Um, Things that happen, they happen because you're meant to experience them, because you're meant to be thought about it. You need to learn something in relation to it. And the only way that the universe, or our higher being, or God, the only way that they can get to us is to manifest these teachings into our everyday lives. um and probably kaya kanina, parang when I was telling you about manifesting and stuff, I was a little, I was stuttering kasi it could be na you were in this stage of your life na parang you don't want to believe na parang you've not really given, not really lost all hope, pero parang you've sort of like given up most of your thoughts and beliefs, in a sense na parang you started questioning, may mangyayari pa ba? May good thing pa bang lalabas out of whatever it is that I'm doing? Especially with spontaneous and intuitive creation dito, it looks like parang the past months you've just been parang sort of like, oh, just going with the flow, whatever happens, no plans about friends, okay, pag niyaya ka, go. You wanted to all of a sudden draw, if naisip mo mag-drawing, okay, fine, go, magdo-draw ako. And you thought na parang all of these intuitive hits, you think na parang there's really nothing. It's just na parang, wala lang siguro ako magawa or bored ako. But I think na parang right now, you're being given that chance to explore things that mean something to you. I think that you're a very hardworking person, pile number 2. You're someone who knows how to get to their goals. You're someone who's a goal getter. You're someone na parang basta gusto mo pagtatrabahuhan mo. And that's perfectly fine. You're very driven. But at one point in your life, you need to stop and you need to remember kung ano ba yung nagmamatter sa'yo. Did you try to lose your hobbies? Or are you spending less and less time with people that you love? Let's say, for example, if you're a working parent, do you still spend time with your family? And right now, you're being given a break to enjoy those things that make you happy, especially with the water dragon being here. The water is all about emotion. It's all about, things that are fluid, especially with dolphins being here, diba? Parang they're contradictory, very land and then very water. So it's just life, I think, is teaching you, or at least the general theme of your reading right now is life teaching you that there are other things. There are other things apart from success. There are other things that can make you happy and can make you fulfilled apart from, just being or moving at the pace na parang just going after things that, or material things in this world, na nakakalimutan mo na ano mga ba yung mga bagay na parang you used to enjoy doing before, or other people have told you to do more right now, na parang maybe you needed a break. So that's what we're gonna check dito sa tarot ninyo. So that's a general theme for you, pile number 2. It's actually a very sad and happy energy at the same time, na parang sad kasi parang the universe needed to force you to to slow it down and just really go to whatever it is that makes your heart happy. You had to be forced na parang hindi talaga kailangan mo talaga magpahinga. You really need to, like, and see, ayaw din magpa-shuffle ng deck. So, na parang you had to be forced na kailangan mong umabot dun sa point na ifo-force ka na ng universe to explore things that you've tried to neglect for the longest time. So it's really just a very strong energy. So all right, so Spirit, what is life's greatest lesson for pile number 2 based on whatever you've given us today? What is pile 2's greatest lesson? What is pile 2's greatest lesson? You have here the 7 of inspiration. or the Seven of Wands. See, Wands is about, fire in your heart. Seven of Wands is the Lord of Valor card after all. It's just really after or pursuing, being persistent about the things that you want in your life. You have here the Muse of Inspiration or the King of Wands. Very, very timely for your reading. Okay. Oops. You have here Queen of Inspiration, Two of Voices, or the Two of Swords in reverse. And let's get one more. Ten of Materials, or the Ten of Pentacles. Let's move it a little. Okay. Here. Okay. Alright. And then back of your deck, you have here the Knight of Voices, or the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. So let's look at this. Pile number 2. Okay. So with the Queen of Inspiration being here, I think that life is teaching you to really listen to that inner voice of yours that's telling you what you need to focus on right now. And it's not something that is tangible. It's not something that is practical. It's something that really speaks to you within. Try to ask yourself, what's this thing that you've been trying to do for the longest time? And for the longest time din, sinabi mo sa sarili mo pa ulit-ulit na parang, maybe next month, or maybe next time, or maybe some other time. It could be na parang, it could be na you wanted to see your parents, or you wanted to go on vacation, or maybe you wanted to just really, have some time for yourself. Maybe you've been wanting to go into a spa for the longest time and you never really wanted to do it. So, with the Queen of Inspiration being here as your center card, na behind niya yung Muse of Inspiration, which is the King, I think na parang right now, you are being told na yourself, your heart, your mind takes precedence over everything else. Kasi if, parang ganito kasi yan eh, yung something that you need to put behind you, with this Muse of Inspiration here, coming before the Queen, na parang that logical part of your brain, you need to put a stop on it muna. The king versus the queen. 'Di ba yung king laging yun yung medyo very cerebral, very like parang in his head, like how kings are. They're more masculine than feminine. And right now, sinasabihan ka, or at least one of life's greatest lesson for you now is to really focus on what speaks to your heart. The inspirations in the inspirations, or at least the inspiration suit in this deck is the Wands. And the fact that it's named Inspiration, especially with here na spontaneous and intuitive creation, just really talks about, or you're being told na parang you need to explore what inspires you. Otherwise, your days will turn cold and boring and sad. Kasi if you don't have that flame, or if you don't nourish that flame that you have within you, be it work, be it in relationships, you're not going to progress and you're not going to be able to sustain, because everything requires energy. And the only way for you to replenish that energy is to feed yourself with that same energy that makes you burn in the first place. Okay? So now, what is the Seven of Inspiration? If you can see here, parang this image, the Seven of Inspiration, or the Seven of Wands, is supposed to be a card of parang standing up. It's a Lord of Valor card after all. Parang just, getting through or enduring what life throws at you. But for this one, it's as if this image, it's not focusing there. It looks as if it's parang not really it's lost. Parang it's sort of like almost at the brink of failure, of defeat. Kasi ayan, parang nakasabog na yung buhok niya, parang nakaupo na siya, pero yung hands na lang niya yung tipong stretching. So it's sort of like parang you're in this place na you've already given whatever it is that you need to give out of life. and nauubos ka na. You're already burning slowly. Parang kumbaga, literal na ito yung burnout. You're really burning out. You're really like parang exhausting all of the energy that you have, even yung mga tago mong energy dyan, or the positive thoughts that you have, you're slowly, it's eating you alive. Pile number 2. And right now parang I feel na parang I'm having a hard time to breathe. Na parang it's as if, yung alam mo yung parang nag-workout ka, na sobrang pagod ka na parang you can hardly breathe kasi parang you're literally catching your breath. So that's where you are right now. And with the muse of inspiration here, na parang alam mo yun, parang yung, the fire just coming out of their hands twice as much, then it just means na parang you're giving way more than what you are supposed to give for whatever it is that you've been handling the past few months. It could be na parang you felt that is how you will survive. It could be na you felt na maybe maybe the situation really just requires that maybe it just really requires you to exert that much effort. But the thing is, that can be done, yes, if it's needed. But is it sustainable? Definitely no. And that's what you're being taught right now. You need to focus on yourself. You need to really just find your center again and see what speaks to you. What are the things that you want? Be more spontaneous. Do you want to go on a vacation? Go. You don't even have to plan it. Do you like drawing and it's something that you've never done before? Kasi parang you feel na you don't have the time to do whatever your hobbies were before. Then just maybe you don't need a schedule for it. You just need to like really go somewhere with your sketchbook and your pencil and just draw whatever. Maybe that's a good release for you. Na parang with this one being on top of the valley, and I know that itong 7 of inspirations appeared on the previous text, so you may want to check that as well. Not everything in life is about pentacles. Not everything in life is about materials. The fact na they're on the two opposite spectrums of your reading. Diba? With the two of voices here in reverse, you're failing to, the two of voices is a two of swords. And with this one being in reverse, you're being asked to open not just your eyes, but also your heart, your mind. Remove the blindfold and see. Kasi you have here two versions of each other. Ayan na. 2 of 2. And the fact that you're pile number 2, there has to be balance. You need to make a choice na if you're choosing others, other people, other things, then you also need to choose yourself sometimes, pile number 2. Especially with the 10 of materials being here, things will be in full bloom. But you can't always just look at it na parang kung ano lang yung goal mo, yun lang yung ifo-focus mo, na parang anything and everything, parang the hell with everything. Even if I die, pero let's say gusto kong makabili ng bahay, even if I die working 20 hours a day and not having enough sleep, then I'm gonna do that. No, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Pile number 2, especially with the Knight of Voices here as your underlying energy, you need to listen to that nagging voice behind your head na, does this still make me happy? Is this really what I want? After all, the Knight of Swords, if it's upright, it's very brash. It's a very fast energy. It's impulsive. But the fact that this is in reverse, you're becoming a little too careful for your own good. Na parang everything has to be calculated. I remember tuloy, someone told me na parang there are some people na they like to make a schedule out of everything, and you could be that person na tipong kunwari, if 1 o'clock I need to go to the gym, 3 o'clock I need to be home and take a bath. Let's say for some reason, you need to be at the gym ng 1 o'clock, but let's say 11:30 you're supposed to leave. You weren't able to leave at that time kasi, I don't know, maybe your car broke down or you needed extra gas and then na-traffic ka. If that happens, you're going to even think, oh my God, I'm not gonna hit my schedule, so you're going to postpone that and just stick to whatever is on your schedule. Now, that's good. Yes, it's good na parang you're planning, you think ahead, but you're sacrificing so much just because you want perfection or you want things to happen exactly the same way that you want them to happen. And that's not going to be sustainable for you. Pile number 2, you're literally being asked to explore your inner self. What is it that you feel creative about? What is your intuition telling you? Have you done, when was the last time you've done something so spontaneous? Diba? So, let's clarify the Seven of Inspirations. You have here the Eight of Voices, or the Eight of Swords. See? Restrictions. What's restricting you is you wanting to, just really conquer everything. Na parang you're burning twice as much, like I said kanina. Muse of Inspiration. You have here the Chariot. So really just telling you na it takes time, with horses being here, na parang you're really just being told na it's a progress. It's really just a step that you need to conquer, steps that you need to go through. There really is a choice. Again, this has two muses, and then the Chariot, as you know, on traditional decks, it has two, parang diba, two whatever, two lions, two tigers, whatever, two things, either left or right. So it really is just about a choice. It really is about putting balance in the things that you can control. This one wants to come out. Queen of Voices. See? Queen of Voices, or the Queen of Swords. It's funny kasi these are very opposing energies. Focusing on focusing on this is very fire, and then this is very, very air. So, kumbaga parang, but you know what? The same way that air can put fire out, it can also help fire grow. Diba? They may look like opposing energies, but when used correctly, they can either magnify and amplify something of the other. So you're being told here na whatever it is, yung alam mo yun, yung pagiging cerebral mo, pile number 2, you can use it to literally plan how you can heal yourself. Because right now, the greatest lesson that you're being taught is you need to heal yourself. You need to heal your internal self. You need to really look at yourself, look back at at the choices that you've made, and try to ask yourself, are you where you want to be? If yes, then okay. Then the next question is yourself is yourself or is your spirit in the same state where you want it to be in? Now, if the answer is yes, well and good, then maybe this isn't your reading. But if it's no, then clearly there is something that you need to fix. Oh, you have here 5, the Hierophant. So again, sorry, it's not focusing there. Okay. So again, you have here the Hierophant with the 2 of Voices here underneath the 2 of Voices, and clearly it's just really na you need to make a choice. You need to take off your blindfold and accept the things that you need to fix. If you feel na parang you're not supposed to help yourself, na parang it's okay, parang you're not supposed to do this, ganyan, you're not, there's nothing that you need to fix within yourself, then just take off that blindfold and accept na parang, well, there's something wrong. Whether you accept it or not, there's something wrong. It's only a matter of time bago siya sumabog. You have here the 6 of Inspirations. You have a lot of inspiration cards. You have a lot of wands. You have a lot of fire, which, like I said earlier, it could be burning twice as much. Now, it's up to you if you want to fix that, but you're being advised and you're being cautioned to do so. Kasi, kahit anong gawin mo, if you burn twice as much, if you burn so fast, there will come a time na wala ka nang maiibigay. And that's when you would be at a loss. That's when you would, start hurting yourself or hurting other people unconsciously, whether unconsciously or consciously. Kasi you're so frustrated, or you're so used to giving so much na parang right now you're at a stage na medyo parang wala ka na, pigang-piga ka na. So with the 6 of Wands being here in reverse, you're being asked to really just tone it down and focus on yourself. The 6 of Wands, normally, if it's upright, diba, it's about prestige. It's about being, parang really out there. It's about receiving the success that you need to receive, or the recognition that you need to receive. But maybe, no, it's not a maybe. But right now, you're being taught na it's not about what others perceive you or how you want others to see you. It's more of how you want to see yourself and what are the issues that you have within yourself. It's a very sad thing that you're being given this type of message, pile number two, na parang you need to be reminded by the universe and you need to focus on what makes you happy. Kasi more than anything, yourself takes precedence. It's not selfish to love yourself, pile number two. Kasi clearly, you've been burning yourself or you've been giving away so much of your energy for other people, but you need to do the same thing for yourself. Otherwise, you'll wake up one day na parang you've already given everything to everyone except yourself. At the back of the deck, again, you have your Nine of Inspirations or the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is about, just being at that stage na parang uhaw ka na, parang pagod ka na, bugbog ka na, pero sige, laban pa. It's a good thing if, if, if your spirit isn't broken, but right now it looks as if your spirit is. So you have here both cards, which almost shows defeat. At least on the imagery, it does. And you have a lot of wands here, so really you need to light that fire within. Because you cannot give what you don't have, pile number two. If you lose it, then you wouldn't really have anything more to give. So let's look for some advice on what you need to, what you need to do with this lesson that you're being taught. So, okay. So we have here, manipulated. I will not be controlled. So whatever life circumstances are for you, pile number two, you just have to really just wing it. Whatever it is, parang sometimes kasi we get caught up with life na parang there's a lot of work, there's a lot of things that I can do. Kaya kanina parang, di ba sabi ko sa inyo, could be na parang you've been planning for this spontaneous trip and then you haven't really gone through it kasi you don't have time. So don't let these things manipulate you. Go for whatever it is that you want to do for yourself, because right now, more than anything, it's very, very crucial that you take care of yourself. You have your powerful, try to stop me, similar thing. You hold your power, go for whatever it is for whatever you think is best for yourself, and just really go for it. Oh, this one wants to come out. Now, if you're exhausted, I quiet my mind and relax my body. See? Really just talking about yourself, really just, and the fact that this falls here on top of the Queen of Inspiration or the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Voices, really, even your mind is telling you that you're very, very tired. So you really have to listen. You really have to listen, and you need to just really do something about it. Kasi other people, when they need something, they ask for help. Now your spirit is asking you for help. It's just really up to you to listen. You have your optimistic, better days are ahead. So at least that's a good thing to get us an advice after yourself just told you na parang you're exhausted. There is hope. You're being given concrete words of hope that things are gonna get better. So let's get some more. You have here, contact is not a course of action. Contact is not a course of action. So, it means na parang, oh sorry, I didn't show you that there. Contact is not a course of action. So, it means na parang, sometimes, diba, words aren't just enough. Contacting someone, means na parang you've been away from them for a while, or you haven't seen each other for a while, or you haven't spoken with each other for a while. So that means na parang contact is not a course of action. When you, even with yourself, if yourself is trying to contact you, it's not going to mean anything if you don't act on it. It's acting on it that becomes an action. The same with contacting someone. If you contact them and reach out to them na parang, hey, how are you? Ganyan, ganyan. It's not gonna mean anything if you don't want to do anything about it. Na parang, okay, kinamusta mo, and then suddenly hindi ka na nag-reply. You did contact that someone, yeah. But you didn't really make an effort to actually see them, be with them. And now, you need to really make an action to get in touch with your own self again. Pile number 2. The stars are aligning for second chances. So again, this just really talks about hope. It just really talks about, better days ahead. You have here, no. You know what? This also came for the previous pile, so you really may want to check that out. Whatever question it is that you have, if you were asking yourself for something, then this could be your answer. And you have your unfinished business. So, again, all of this stress, you know, um, all of this fatigue, all of this exhaustion could be linked to something that you weren't able to address. So that could be a thing for most of you na parang there is something that you still need to fix in your current situation. Right? So that's it. File number 2. Thank you so much for staying with me. If you did like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you wanted to check on anything. Do follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Psyche Libertina. And again, Wicks and Crystals. If you can, please Wicks as in Wicks and letter N crystals. So I hope that you can support this little thing that we're doing. And yeah, thank you again, pile number 2, and I will see you on your next reading. Bye. Hey there, pal number 3. Thank you so much for being here. So, if you chose etong White Fly Tarot natin, this is gonna be a reading regarding life's greatest lessons for you as of this point. And this is your deck, in case you missed it kanina. There. And again, before we start, thank you to everyone who sent me messages asking how I was. I honestly just needed to fix a few things. And I wanted to take this opportunity to let you guys know that we are now doing our own candles. So it's Wicks and Crystals on Facebook and Instagram, Wicks as in Wicks and then N as in letter N, Crystals. So if you're big in on manifestation, light up these candles. There are stones that are embedded on this. They've been cleansed. And once the candle has run out, then at least you have stones where you can pick, you can really put into your jar, which would remind you of the manifestations or of those meditations that you have gone through. So it's turning your thoughts, your energy into something that is physical and something that you can be reminded of. So thank you again, guys. And going back to your reading per usual, I have here pre-shuffled oracle cards just to check the energy of your reading. If you're not able to resonate with this one, then please feel free to check other piles. Absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one pile. And similarly, if you're not able to resonate with any of the piles, then most likely there isn't any message for you on this reading. And again, general disclaimer, this is a general tarot reading and only take what resonates and leave the rest. So you have here flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. Did that focus? It's not focusing, sorry. My camera is crappy. So there, flute. And then you have here Jade Mountain. Jade Mountain. Jade is always about the protection. Then you have your disappointment. Would this be reminding you about being careful of trusting too early? You have your surrender. I can release my need to control. So, purple. So, yep. Okay. Let's talk about these oracle cards first. Pile number 3. With the Jade Mountain here and surrender, I think na parang you are being reminded that certain disappointments in your life aren't really there to hurt you. They are there to teach you something. And this could be very much about your relationship with other people. So I think na parang you're someone who's very easy to give your heart out. You could be someone who wears your heart under your sleeve. You could be someone na parang just really very trusting. Now, that's not really a bad thing. Pero when it's done recklessly, for lack of a better word, it's something that will hurt you. Pile number 3. I think na parang you're someone na when you give your trust or when you give something that's so precious to you, with the Jade Mountain being here, the Jade is, after all, one of the most precious stones in history. It's worn by kings, emperors, empresses. So parang kumbaga siya yung sort of like one of the most parang well sought after, one of the most expensive, one of the parang something that's signifying love, trust, and loyalty. And with the Jade Mountain being here and surrender, I think that parang you are being reminded that that you can only control what you put out, but you cannot control how others will take or how others will perceive whatever messages it is that you give them. Pile number 3, I think that parang right now you're being reminded to really just try to revisit your relationships with people. Try to revisit how you have done certain things in life. Try to revisit na parang yun bang mga binibigay mo sa yun bang mga binibigay mo ay tama? Yun bang mga binibigay mo ay nasusuklian? Yun bang mga binibigay mo ay deserve ng taong pinagbibigyan mo? It's very easy for people who really have a kind heart to just give things out of the goodness of their hearts. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you a bad person, but it does put you in a very vulnerable spot of being hurt. So, with flute here, I think that parang fairly recently, you could have had the falling out with some friends, you could have had the falling out with some people, and really, you can't really force people to stay. You can't really force people to stay. Um, pile number pile number 3. Sometimes meron talaga mga tao that they come, they're either a blessing or a lesson, and that's one of the things that you're being taught about right now. Na there are really some people who are just there to hurt you, really just there to, you know, cause you pain, I guess, or teach you a lesson that you refuse to learn. But um those whatever the purpose may be, you must learn that you need to let go when it's time to let go. Be it with love or be it with anger, or anything positive or negative, you really need to learn to to let go of things that no longer serve you. So, let's look at your tarot now and see kung ano ba tong specific na situation na to with someone who is very dear to you. Looks to me na parang it could be like a relationship. It could be a romantic relationship. Doesn't necessarily have to be. Again, this is a general reading, but it is indeed a relationship in itself. So, Spirit, what is this lesson that pile number 3 is being taught about? You have here the Devil upright. You have here the Devil upright. So again, giving too much to something that doesn't deserve it. Yung parang image dito doesn't have shoes, and yet this ram here or this goat has shoes. Diba? It's giving something to someone who doesn't deserve what you're giving. You have here the 7 of Swords. So yeah, betrayal, deceit, going behind someone's back. So, diba, here pa lang makikita na ninyo na parang you're giving something to someone who doesn't really deserve it. And the worst part is you're giving it to someone who you thought was your friend, or who you thought is someone who would be concerned of you. You have here the Queen of Swords in reverse, so failing to see the truth behind it. You have here the Page of Swords. So, yep, two-faced people. And you have here the 10 of Swords. So the fact that all of your cards are swords and the devils, clearly you're being reminded that you're living in a lie. Pile number 3. You're living in a lie that you can be assured that whatever it is that you give someone, they will give you whatever it is that your gift deserves. Pero it's not like that. Sabi nga nila, 'di ba? More often than not, you will be rewarded by by other things, really. By other things, by other people. You will be, whatever you give someone, more often than not, it's not them who will reward you. Sabi nga nila, di ba, kapag ang tao namang inilibing mo, hindi naman siya ang maglilibing sa'yo. Your gifts or the karma will come around sa inyo through other people. But right now, I think na parang you're expecting too much from those who you give your heart to, those who give your blessings to, and let's talk about, okay, so let's go at it ng parang stage by stage. Let's talk about what you have to leave behind. So you have here the Devil card and Seven of Swords. You could have experienced some betrayal fairly recently, especially with the Moon in Aquarius being here. I think that with the Seven of Swords being here, you need to like sweep things, not just sweep things under the rug, but really like sweep them out. Na parang whatever it is that has hurt you, whatever it is that other people have planned about you, whatever it is whatever betrayal you feel or whatever lies other people have told you, which ended up damaging your relationship with this person, it's okay. You have to let it go. You gave them something which they can never get elsewhere. You gave them probably, you know, with this one, parang yung shoes, you gave them things which kahit ikaw yung maubusan. I think ganun kang klase ng tao. Now, anything that is in excess isn't really a good thing. So, if ikaw na yung naubusan and then nabigyan mo pa siya ng what? 2 pairs, so like 4 shoes, tas ikaw wala, then there's something that's wrong with the way that you are looking at this. Clearly. What's at the back of your deck? See? 2 of Wands. So it's about a journey. It's about a choice of seeing two sides of the story. This is Aries. So this is Venus in Aries. The 2 of Wands, give me 1 second. Yeah, the 2 of Wands is Aries. Alright. So, the fact na parang you're being asked to just stand up for yourself and just really forget the things that other people have done or have taken wrongly against you. Charge it to experience na lang. Pile number 3. But with the Devil card being here, I think that this isn't the first time that you've experienced this. I think that you have been going into a pattern of giving too much to people who don't deserve what you're giving. Na in the end, ang nangyayari tuloy is you end up being left out into the cold. Na parang, it's not just being left out in the cold, it's literally like, parang kulang na lang, with this spot here and those scandals, na parang it's as if witchcraft, na parang, really doesn't matter if you do good or bad. It's going to be the same banana. They're just really going to give you bad things. You know? And you've been going on in that cycle, pile number 3. Na parang you're not able to respect your own boundaries. And with the Queen of Swords being here in the center, you're being reminded na, alright, this is not how you're supposed to do it. Pile number 3. You're supposed to see things on a more parang balanced level, on a more cerebral level. What's good, what's bad? Is it really bad? Kasi parang sometimes in life, sometimes in certain things and in certain decisions that we make, there really isn't a gray line. It's just really black and white. Is it good? Is it bad? Kunwari pag I don't know, if someone stabbed you randomly, there really isn't any gray line about it. It's just na stinab ka ba niya or hindi. Diba? And that's something that you're failing to see with the Queen of Swords being in reverse here. And this Page of Swords, you're being advised na parang sometimes you need to protect yourself. With a mask being here, you need to, in order to start again, you need to start protecting yourself. If it means that you need to hide certain emotions, you need to literally hold your emotions, hold your thoughts for yourself, na wag mo muna siyang ilabas. Not because you're being fake or anything, it's not that. It's just you being careful and you putting yourself first instead of making yourself so out there and so vulnerable that other people may use that against you or may use that to hurt you instead. Kasi there has to be some alam mo yun, some parang rebirth that has to happen with you, with the Ten of Swords being here. You need to realize, you need to appreciate, and you are being reminded that in order for things to be better, you need to change. There is a choice that you need to make. Now, what is that choice? It's either you move forward or you move back. You don't learn from your mistakes, or you use it to be the wiser. Parang nobody's the wiser kung may nangyari man. These things that have happened, they've already happened, and there's nothing that you can really do about it. But what you can do right now, and what you're being reminded of, is this lesson that you need to learn from your past mistakes, because this has been a cycle. Pile number 3. You cannot always wear your heart under your sleeve, like I said earlier. Sometimes talagang kailangan magpaka-poker face ka para people won't use your emotions against you. Because I think that's where the problem is with you. Pile number 3. I think na parang dun ka nagkakaroon ng, alam mo yun, dun ka parang naiipit kasi you're such an open book. You're such an open book, pile number 3, na parang you've become so predictable for other people. And how you should move forward is you need to change. You really just need to change. All of those pain, all of those backstabbing, scheming that you have experienced in your life, you really just need to change. Pile number 3. There is no other way that you will survive this kundi wala, magbago ka. Sometimes people, maybe they don't need the taste of their own medicine. Maybe you just really need, the silence, and you don't have to deal with all the bull crap. You have here the 7 of Wands in reverse. So there are really just things that you have to let go. There are really things that parang you don't have to keep on fighting for, and you don't have to keep on fighting about. You just really need to walk away from it. Sometimes walking away is really the best thing. And then you have here the Moon in reverse. So again, with the Moon here being in reverse, you will figure out and you will find out the betrayal that someone has done against you. You will find out na parang whatever it is that they planned, however it is na parang they framed you up, or whatever whatever the cause of your pain is, you will find out why that happened. And I think that's a good thing kasi you will have clarity, you will have peace. You have here again the Hierophant. See? In reverse. So I think, like I said kanina, this isn't the first time. So you have been reminded about this previously. You have been advised to look at things from different perspectives. You have been advised to be a little more, not really practical, but be a little more, I guess, evidence-based in your decisions, but you were usually like all emotion. So again, you're being reminded that you have the key. You have the key to really figure things out and really just change. Pero if you don't want to learn, it will be forced upon you. Pile number 3. You have here the King of Swords. See? From a page, you have to transcend. And sometimes, yung being careful na ganyan, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing. It's just you trying to really protect yourself from people who don't deserve your kindness. I know that this is quite a parang sad message, and I'm very sorry if that's how this is being brought into you, but I guess this is what you really need to learn. Kasi, alam mo yun, parang pag tinignan mo, it's just really mostly swords. Swords and wands. See? You have here the 3 of Wands. And at the back, you have here the Sun in reverse, with a baby there. So again, life is waiting for you to make that decision to change yourself. Sometimes you really just need to be reborn as someone different, or you need to change yourself and be someone different in order to survive. Survival isn't really a bad thing. Pile number 3. And with the 3 of Wands being here, you really need to look out and take that journey. You may not know where you're going to be, but at least you took that first step. You took that first step to try and make things better for yourself. Okay? This is a very specific message. You cannot give such a precious gift to someone who's very, very cheap. And I'm sorry if that may not sound well, but there really are just some lessons that you need to learn the hard way, and this is one of it. Na parang hindi kasi pwede pile number 3 na you just keep on giving and then they give you crap. sometimes you just really need to, sometimes you just really need to let them be. Let them deal with their own whatever and just go on with your life. There has to be some change. But this change will have to start with you. Pile number 3. So let's get some advice. Spirit, what's your advice for pile number 3 regarding their situation? Okay. So you have here tense, breathe, release, repeat. And then this one is empty. So, all right. So then that could be something na parang it's really just a blank slate for you. Really just something na parang with rainbows there, it could be a start of something new. But you just need a reset. See? Breathe, release, repeat. And then it becomes, and then it's followed by this blank card. So clearly, there is something that parang you just need to release and then start anew. And then you have here, codependent. I will support and rely on myself. So see? Pile number 3. It's just really telling you na parang you really just need to focus on yourself. But there is no one who can give you the best support but support from your own self. And then you have here excited. I seize the day with a fresh outlook. So again, starting something. The sun is always about, new beginnings. It's about rebirth. And the fact that there's death and rebirth here, then that's really just something that's very wonderful for you. You're being assured na this change that you will do for yourself is something that has been brewing in the background for such a long time. And it's something that you should have done long ago. Para na-break mo na tong pattern mo na to. Pile number 3. So, see. Approachable and available. So, again, hindi naman, kumbaga, just because you change or just because you hide certain emotions doesn't mean naman na parang you need to, like, parang make kulong yourself and just, just literally parang isolate yourself. No. There has to be a limit and there has to be boundaries. Turning rage into blessings keeps you harmonized. So again, like I said, whatever it is that you have been through, learn from those. Learn from those. Be aware of narcissistic behavior. So, this is very apt for you. Pile number 3 kasi diba kanina parang we were saying na parang you've given everything even if you don't have something but they still tend to take away. These people normally, you can like Google up what narcissistic is, but these types of people normally, they will really take until you have nothing to give and then blame you for for whatever it is that they think is your shortcoming. You have here, put your energy towards self-love. So again, very focused on self. Pile number 3. So I don't know what else you need para malaman ninyo na parang there are really some things na parang the greatest gift that you can give to yourself is, self-love. And sometimes you just really need to let go of other people and you need to accept na parang whether you give them something that is precious to you, you cannot control on how they will take it. They can even screw you or just hurt you because of it. But really, life is life is really just like that. So thank you, pile number 3. That is the end of your reading. Thank you for staying with me. If you did like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want me to check on anything or any suggestions in future readings. Do follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Psyche Libertina. And again, our Wicks and Crystals, please, if you can. So thank you so much, pile number 3, and I hope to see you on your next reading. Bye.